Hey guys! So I finally got some crafty playtime in between actually putting together my room after I totally screwed it up. I decided to take a break from that and not do that this weekend. Instead, try and do some crafting. So I just wanted to share with you what I made. And so this is what I used for the tags that I'm getting ready to show you. This is a stamp set from Little Inker Designs. If you can kind of see, they're kind of really funny quotes from movies. I used my Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Up! Ink and this Tim Holtz stencil. This is the larger one, and it's the candy cane stripe, and it is not all straight lines. If you look closely, they're kind of wavy a little bit. So I used that to make this tag here. And I just did this on white cardstock and used my ink to run through the stencil. And then I used some VersaFine to stamp the little sentiment here. I just thought it would be cute. And this is Nouveau Glossy White drops on here. I really like the way that they peek. And they don't draw up the color from the ink too much. So that's a nice thing as well. And then I just used some ribbon. This tag's die is from Paper Smooches. So that's what I used to create this tag. And along with that, I did this one as well. This is a different sentiment from the same stamp set. And this is some Stampin' Up! Paper, both the pattern and the solid cardstock. And then again, I just put a ribbon up here at the top. This paper actually says Jingle Bells underneath it. So that's the reason why I decided to use that with this particular quote. And then, so that was the supplies. And then I used my new, to me, well, actually I've had this one in my stash for a long time. I used both of these sets here. This is the new one this year to create the snow globes. And I created one of each and just kind of playing around to see what I could come up with. So let me show you what I did with those. There's a lot of little pieces in there, by the way, and it took me probably about 2 hours to do one because there's a lot of die cutting involved. So for both of these, the sky pieces are not included in the die set. So this this one with the stars is actually a Gina Marie Designs die, and it's an A2 size cover plate die with the stars, and then I backed it with yellow cardstock. And then this one, the snowy one, is a horizontal snowfall from MFT. So I used two different background dies to create the stars and the snowfall because they're solid in the Tim Holtz set. And so you can see here, I mixed the buildings basically. So you can see this one is the larger one. It has these buildings, but I put them on the wider snow globe. And then I took the buildings and the mountains that were on this one and put them in the taller snow globe. I don't know why I did that. That's the way I did it. So the other thing I did was I used my ink duster brushes to create the gradient on the background, and that's done with the Blueprint Sketch, and there's another darker one. They're both distress inks that I used to create that gradient in the sky. And then all of these little pieces of paper here are die cut from a Tim Holtz coordinations pack, an A2 size pack, and you know, fit together like they're supposed to, all the little trees and such. And then these two little tags here are one. The die is from the new Tim Holtz set. It's a tag set, which I don't have around me. It's one of the tiny dies in his new set. And then the stamp itself comes from Lawn Fawn. So here's the Lawn Fawn set. It's called Tiny Tags from Lawn Fawn, and this came out last year, I think. I have the dies for it, but they're too big for what I wanted here. And then I just tied some twine and a bow around the tag and stuck it with a dimensional. This is cut from gold foil paper from the Dollar Tree. So I can use these on a card. Now the thing is with this is the card, A2 size card is too small for this one. This would hang off. And I don't think I would want to do that for this particular shape. This one will fit on an A2 size card. And I actually put a piece on the back to adhere the globe and the gold piece together because they're two separate pieces. So it doesn't look pretty on the back. You can see I partially die cut the shape, and then at the bottom I took my scissors and just cut an extra piece here so that it would be all held together by one piece of cardstock. So when I put it down on the card, which this will fit on an A2 size card, but it will have to be landscape, if you know what I mean. I'll show you because I have an example of one I put down on a card. This one has the clouds on it, and I took the moon out, of course. That one is on the other one. So I had to have pink buildings. I don't know why I did that, but there's a lot of little die cuts here and a lot of layering. So yeah, these are the two different little snow globes that I created for Christmas. And then the last things I have are this card. Here's the snow globe again. And I was playing with my deer die cuts. Again, these are new from Tim Holtz. There are 4 deer in the set. So this is 2 of them. And then I used a MFT tree die. It has a hillside on it and the little trees. And I just backed that with white. I put another layer of white on top of the green, and then put some of the Prima snowflake paste to create the snow effects. I don't know if you can see that well. And then this stamp right here is a paper tray ink stamp set that I just got in. And it comes from this Very Merry tree set. It's one of the sentiments on here. I just like to mix my stuff up. That's the way I craft. And the card base is paper tray ink craft cardstock. And I ran it through this A2 size embossing folder through my Gemini. These are made by Crafter's Companion, so they fit in the machine just perfectly. And you can see the card was just put in this way. And yeah, and I just tied some twine around it, and that's it, and glued it down. Okay, so that's that card. And then the last card I have has more deer. I think these are the 2 other deer that I cut out. This is the largest one in the set, and then this is another smaller one that I didn't use on the other card. So this birch tree set is from Gina Marie Designs. It's actually wider than this. I cut it down to fit on the card front a little differently so that there would be the space on this side. And then I put the deer down. I inked it up with some Desert Storm Memento ink. And then I added some Nouveau drops as the icicle top and the bottom of the scene. And so the gloss white is underneath the sparkling, so that you got both effects. And then I just stapled some ribbon on here with my tiny attacher. This is some ribbon from Stampin' Up! from I think it's in the annual catalog. So I got some of that. And then this Warm Winter Wishes is a paper tray ink stamp set that has a bunch of sentiments on it. If I can find, oh, here it is. It has a bunch of sentiments in really small, fonts. They all say the same thing, Warm Winter Wishes, but in different fonts and different sizes. So that's what's on this tag. And this, well, that's not a tag. It's actually a banner from Paper Tray Ink as well that I have. So that is the final card that I made. Again, this is on the craft cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. So those are my crafty adventures from the weekend. And these will either be tags or they'll be put on a card. I'm thinking maybe I'll do this on a 5x7 card because that should accommodate the size of this snow globe. and still be able to send it through the mail pretty flat because it's not very, you know, deep in terms of the stuff that's on it. So, yeah, that's it for now, and thanks for watching. Bye.